Okay, hopefully we arrive now. I don't know the network conditions here, but hope all works. So what do I have to share with you today and why I am in a strange live at such position? And mind you, I am having to sit. I'm actually having to sit here back, and then I am literally leaning all to the camera because the phone has been kept so precariously. But anyways, let us come to the point. I won't be taking much time of you on this live. Here today I will be reading a story which is personally of my interest. So yeah, we haven't got much time to pass, have we? So I'm just shaking here. Be with me for a while. Okay, so here we go. So it is title as Not to Worry, and two things are there. I won't be revealing the names of the author, and also I won't be revealing the name of the book from which I'm reading here, because it's just of my pleasure. It's just out of my interest and my pleasure. So yeah, it's not a commercial thing. So let's get started. Story starts like this. Well, it's about the friendship, so keep your attention. It's a really good story, and you'll thoroughly enjoy it, and you'll surely get some meaningful message from it. It's about the friendship, and all of us do like to make friends, aren't we? At least I personally like to make friends, to be friend with people. So here we go. Friendships can blossom in the strongest of surroundings, under the most appalling circumstances. Well, that's true. Friendships can blossom anywhere. Well, it could be happen that you could be a friend on a train station, or maybe into the train. So that's what it means. It can blossom anywhere. For me, well, for the author, not for me, but for the author, it happened in a lonely hospital ward. So the story is set to begin in a hospital. It happened in a lonely hospital ward. Ward is it's like a room where you get treated and all that. You probably know those things. All of my followers are very literate and highly educated. At least I assume that, and I would like to believe that. So let's continue here. It happened in a hospital ward on the evening of my son's birth. So there you go. Now we know that the author is a lady. It happened on the evening of my son's birth. My water had just broken at about 10 p.m. Water had broken. If there is a gynecologist, they would be know that to break the water means it's a medical term which I won't be going into. Well, I can explain that because by qualification I am masters in microbiology, but for the time being, because this is a story scenario, I'll be talking much on medical terms here, and I will just continue with the story. My water had just broken at about 10 in the past morning, but the contractions hadn't begun. Again, a medical term. The doctor informed me, my parents and husband. The doctor informed my parents, my husband, and my friends. Well, not friends, but parents and husband. Basically, those are the people with author on that evening. that I would be kept in the delivery ward for the nights. So the author was told that she will have to be in the delivery ward over a night. On observation, he added, he here means the doctor added, in a grim professional voice. Well, it's good. When the doctor is professional, it's good. Anyways, sorry for the rambling. I just have got this habit of rambling. Pardon me for that. I'm sorry. I'm extremely sorry for that. Be with me, guys. Yes, we will wait and see if the contractions begin. No, you cannot visit her there. It's not allowed. The night shift nurse will be on duty. Not to worry. So the husband said, yes, we will wait outside the room, outside the ward, delivery ward, and see if the contractions begin. On which the doctor said, no, you cannot visit her there. That means what? In a delivery ward, you will not be allowed to visit your wife, your better half, and the nurse will be on a duty. So you just don't have to worry. Nurse will be there to see all the things. So let's continue. Not to worry or confuse me, all alone in ward, wondering why things are not happening faster like in the movies. Now I think it's taking more than a needed of time, so I think I should really start to go rapidly, and I will just read it line by line. Not to worry, confused me means the author. All alone in the ward, wondering why things are not happening faster like in the movies. See, that's how the movies influence the people. My parents, sick with worry, sitting on the uncomfortable plastic chairs outside the ward, and my husband pacing back and forth, imagining the worst. Duty of a male, duty of a husband, and it's very difficult for gents, and I can relate with her husband. My husband pacing back and forth, imagining the worst. Like the doctor said, not to worry. Well, that was a strange situation there. All this line basically means to that. So let's continue. I am here on a night shift. Can I get you anything? It was the nurse. So the nurse appeared and she said, I am here on a night shift. Can I get you anything? She was almost my age. Younger perhaps. It was not sure if an answer was expected. I would have liked to say yes. Now I am really going fast. I would have liked to say yes. Can you talk to me for a bit? Can you talk to me for a bit? Now let me change the page. So I would have liked to say means the author would have liked to say to the nurse that yes, can you talk to me for a bit means the author wanted the nurse to talk with her for a bit, for a little, for a moment at least. If she is busy, the nurse got to be a lot of duties, a lot of works there, but it was all going in the mind of author. So let's change the page, and I hope I am allowed to change the place. This is how we do in Maharashtra. We say namaskaram. Anyway, sorry for the rambling again. Can you let my mother inside? Can you let my mother inside? The author asks to the nurse. Is this how all the others feel? Will it be over soon? No, I said. We measured up each other. Is this how all the others feel? Well, that was a little confusing part there, so let me just go back to it. The questions was not actually asked. Those all questions were into the mind of the author, so she doesn't actually make them to talk, and she didn't ask them to the nurse. So I hope it's clear now. We measured up each other. She, like my regular nurse in a delivery ward, assessing my pain threshold. Again, these are few medical terms. Will she be one of the difficult ones? Will she scream if the pain gets too bad? Again, now this whole paragraph, I would say, is going into the mind of nurse. So it's not actual conversation. So please keep that in mind. I had heard too many stories of rude nurses frequenting the delivery wards that I must admit my opinion was free-form about her. She sounded up, checking on things in the ward, glancing at my chart. These all are the medical terms. Doctor will understand it better. Preparing herself for the night ahead. I can't remember how long I lay there, but it seemed like an eternity. Utter silence. The only sound being of the ancient portal heart monitor, which convinced me of my baby's steady heartbeat. My hand was protectively placed on my bulging belly, a habit which expecting mothers develop over the 9 months bonding. Well, it's a very beautiful part here. I'm personally liking this to read here. A habit which expecting mothers develop over the 9 months bonding period with their unborn child, when the child is in the womb. I remember being asked to sleep by the nurse, which I could not. So she couldn't sleep, the author couldn't sleep that night. I had tried, but I tossed about, the mind conjuring up the worst of thoughts as it does in dark, gloomy situations such as this one. Now I just hope I don't run out of network here, otherwise the live will be end abruptly. Let's hope it doesn't happen and we could continue the story. Then something happened. Oh dear, something happened there. My first contraction. It was a slight spasm of pain, nothing fearful. Well, it was a slight contraction there in her stomach. Basically, oddly, it means like pain, which is not the actual medical term, but I'm just trying to put it in simpler words. So the first feeling of pain. Now, these are my words, not from the text. First contraction started. It was not too much. Again, these are my words. It was not too much and nothing fearful. I hope it's clear now. I'm trying my best to clear the story. Exciting almost to one who was still ignorant to the pain intensity of childbirth. Well, it was her first child. We know from this line now that it was the first child of her. So it was a new experience for that mother. I had no idea how to address a nurse, and fearing that nurse would be too rude a term. So the author was actually trying to be very diplomatic. I resorted to unintelligible sounds. She came to my side instantly. I think I had contraction, I said. The author told to the nurse about her experience of having contraction. She raised an eyebrow. The nurse raised an eyebrow. I think so too. The nurse said, well, I think so too. Your first child? She asks. I nodded. She takes a seat beside the bed and proceeds to check the fetal monitor. I think it's a boy. The baby is kicking a lot. He seems naughty, she observes. Well, again, these are very beautiful texts right here. I mean, I really like to take the feel when I read, so that's why I often smile. And when it's a sad or things going in the story, I myself too feel sad. Like maybe I'm just more sensitive. I don't know. We look at each other and smile. I think that sealed the deal. A shared smile over an active fetus. Like I said, friendships can blossom under the most appealing circumstances. We talked about a lot of things that night. About our families, men, marriages, and even Orkut and Facebook. She smiled reassuringly each time I had a contraction. She held my hand as the contraction became stronger. Does the doctor get angry with women who cannot take the pain? Do a lot of women scream? I asked. So the author asked to the nurse. Haha, the nurse laughed. More than you can imagine, but don't worry, the doctor won't mind. He has seen too many cases. Once a girl actually kicked him out of sheer pain. I remember laughing at this, imagining the comical scene in my mind, and I still chuckle when I think about it. That was some funny scenario there. She allowed my mother and husband to come and see at around 3 a.m. So the nurse just became too generous and she allowed her mother and the husband to come and see daughter at around 3 a.m. in the night. I think it relieved them both a lot. So the husband and mother got a bit of relief. We never exchanged names. Probably she knew mine from the patient chart near my bed. She finished her shift at 6 a.m. in the morning. Well, in the morning was added by me. I apologize if it was disgusting for you. Amidst the bustle of morning, shift nurses feeling it. Well, why do I add these words? It's just to make it simpler because it's sometimes it's difficult to understand just from listening. So she finished her shift at 6 a.m. in the morning. Amidst the bustle of morning shift nurses filling in, she made a hurried promise to come and visit me and the baby once the delivery was over. She never did come and visit, and I never got to thank. Now again I'm changing the page here, be with me. So she never did come and visit. So once the duty was over in the morning at 6 a.m., the nurse never came and visit the author, and I never got, means the author never got to thank. Again, I'm changing the page here. And I never got to thank her in a civilized manner. Sans my dowdy hospital gown and pale, anguished expression. But in a way that makes it better. I like to believe she was an angel sent down from heaven for a single night to look after me and my baby. So that's the end of the story here. Let me just read these two lines again. But in a way that makes it better. I like to believe she was an angel. Means the author like to believe that the nurse was like an angel. So it is a metaphor there. Those who know figure of speech, those who know the English grammar will understand this. That there is a metaphor. Well, everyone do know the grammar. I'm just exaggerating the things. I like to believe she was an angel sent down from heaven for a single night to look after me and my baby. So that's all. That's the end of the story here, and it was. Why do I read this story? Is only because it is personal favorite of mine. So maybe I would end the live now because there are chances that I might be losing the network any moment. Well, thankfully it didn't happen during the story. So thanks Alan, we didn't lost the network. Thanks to the universe for that. And with this funny, well, it was not funny. It was there was few funny lines in between, funny scenarios, but overall it was really an interesting and very touchy story. So that's all from me today on this live, and keep smiling and take care. Bye bye.